Everyone has ideas of what the problems are in our society and how to fix them. We took it one step further. Our premise is simple: bring together people from different backgrounds to discuss ideas that affect us. If at the end of the show you feel informed, educated, or alarmed, we have done our job. We are the Social Disruption Network. And welcome to this week's
Go to the
edition
hospital.
of the Social Disruption Network. And since no one has any topics that they want to talk about, I've seen a couple of really interesting topics recently. Of course, tomorrow is what Trump has put as his deadline for the new immigration status or the new immigration doctrine or the new immigration executive order that he's going to put in. And one of the key elements to this is that he is going to halt all immigration to the country until until all countries are up to the U.S. standard. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we specifically said on this panel that that would be a way for him to get around it where it wasn't so biased as far as Muslim contingencies, Muslim countries, Muslim religion, or Muslim people in general. So the key question here is, do we think that by halting all immigration to the country, not from specific entities or countries, but all immigration from any country until they get their standards up to par, is going to be the bulletproof solution that they're looking for? On this panel tonight, we have Sean, Spencer, Russian, Luis, and the top of David's forehead. So, the question is, Sean, since you're the first one from my screen on the left, do you believe that that will make his executive order bulletproof?
Well, I mean, that depends on what you mean by that.
I mean,
First off,
by bulletproof, I mean that no liberal court system or judge or will be able to challenge and overturn and have a leg to stand on.
I mean, I can't pretend that I know, immigration case law well enough to say definitively whether or not it's bulletproof. Wow.
Woo, David, come on, David, you're killing us. David, you're killing us. There it is.
David, we only need one of you.
There it is. Well, what do you think in your liberal heart of hearts?
Like, how do I feel about this plan?
How do you feel about it in your liberal perspective, the bleeding heart liberal community? How do you feel about an executive order that states all immigration to the American continent, the USA, will be halted until each country which has immigration flowing from their immigration policy are up to standard toward U.S. policy? How do you feel about that?
So I'm ambivalent about it. On one hand, I think it's an improvement in that it's not discriminatory in the same way that the earlier iteration of this policy was. On the other hand, I don't believe in borders, so
Shit!
messes me up there. I mean, as far as I guess maybe a more interesting question, maybe this is something that we would get to, is how people are going to respond to this.
Well, that doesn't matter as much as covering. I don't think the way people feel about anything, especially laws, should matter. It's either it's going to be right in the safety perspective or it's going to be wrong in a safety perspective. I don't think.
Well, but safety isn't the only question. And the thing is, there. I think that how people feel matters a lot. I mean, the way that laws change and the way that policies change is when you get a critical mass, when the electorate, when the constituency decides that something is no longer acceptable or that something now is acceptable. Like, this is the way things change. If the whole country feels that, this isn't the case now, but just as an example that's kind of easy to access, right? Like, if everyone decided that marijuana is totally fine, we don't really give a damn about marijuana anymore.
I think it's fine.
Okay, so if everyone felt that way, but the law were still that it were illegal, it wouldn't take very much time at all before that law would change, regardless of anybody's argument for.
Okay, 30 seconds, Sean. 30 seconds. Go.
So I think the public opinion does matter, and I think that people are. It's going to be kind of predictable. So a lot of liberals are going to be suspicious. They're going to say, this is just him extending the same kind of discriminatory policy, and people on the right will say that he has every right to do it, that we should be careful, and blah, blah, blah. It's not, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy.
Okay, well, Spencer, how do you feel about that? Do you think it helps his case when he limits immigration in a manner that covers all countries with substandard immigration tactics, so to speak?
I don't know. That's kind of tough. I think it helps out, and I'm kind of with Sean about it. Like, it kind of looks better. It's not discriminatory. It doesn't look discriminatory, at least. But I'm all about the safety of the citizens we have now. So, of course,
if somebody thinks it's discriminatory, that's what aches me in my ass more than anything.
I know, but I think I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying maybe it's a thing on his part trying to show everybody, like, okay, I can play nice with everybody.
Well, he did make steps. He did make steps going to the black community last week. He had these tweets that in his attempt to show that he was not anti-Semitic. He's been reaching out in ways that,
I think this is more of a PR move than anything. Because, like I said, I think he's trying to show other people, other groups, hey, I can play nice and I can, help everybody. I'm not all one way. I can be a little bit of everything.
Well, is it a PR move, do you think, or is it a manner of getting exactly what he wants by playing ball? This is a smart man. Now we have to understand this.
Oh, yeah, come on, smart?
He is smart, a very smart man.
Okay, we can agree to disagree.
Well, smart takes on very different standards. You have common sense smart, which he has. You have street sense smart, and you have book sense smart. Now, he may not have the book sense in the manner of diplomacy, tactics, or political tactics, but there is no denying that man is a smart man. Okay, either way. So, Spencer, you think it's more of a PR tactic? God damn!
Good God!
Who is that?
That's Rushing. He's back.
Oh. Hey, it worked.
Okay, that's better.
Oh, we can tell.
Lower down your volume, whatever's in the
background.
No
kidding. I don't know what that was, but I just shut it off quick.
But your volume is so high on your voice that you're killing us, bro.
Like if you whisper, it might be a little better.
Yeah, whisper maybe. Don't be so rough with your voice, dude. Like, shit.
Hey.
I'd hate to be making love
to
you.
It.
What do you do? You can't whisper sweet nothings to your wife, could you? There's just no way.
I can't.
All right, Luis.
Can't help it, man. It's all part of a man's voice.
Okay, well, Luis, what is your perspective?
That's on the fence. I don't know about
that. I think.
Wait, was Spencer done? Spencer talked for like 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry, Spencer.
That's really about all I had about it, because I really didn't do a lot of homework into that question. I heard about it.
Well, just how do you feel about it? It's more about how you feel about it, since that's so important these days.
I kind of said my piece. I think I'm okay with it. I think it's more of a PR move, showing that he can play nice with everybody else, because you had all these people, all this backlash from the left saying, oh, well, it's discriminatory. He's banning Muslims, and specifically nobody. And I think he's just finally like, all right, look, maybe everybody can agree to disagree if I do this.
Rushing, you have to cut all that background noise out, bro. You got something that's killing us in this background noise. Do you have a TV on in your room? You have a TV on in the room?
Like,
we can hear everything in your screen, like, extra loud. So, and Spencer, going back to what you were talking about, I think instead of a PR move, I think it's just a move to really ultimately get what he wants. Because he really, in essence, after that judgment from that judge in particular, he didn't have a choice. He had to change his tactics. He had to, just to get what he wants. Now
it's going to come full circle. It's going to come full circle in the end.
How do you feel?
But
Luis?
I think, in general, not laws are not bulletproof because they're going to be interpreted just like the Bible. Different people are going to have a loophole or an opinion about it. So one judge might say, well, this paragraph here, I interpret this way. So he might find a loop there, and then he wants to challenge back the federal.
Right.
That's my opinion. But we do need them. We do need a lot of measures. I do believe on restricted immigration across the board, tourism, whatever. I mean, why not? I have firsthand experience of immigration issues traveling because of work. And I mean, for instance, if I wanted to go to Saudi for business, and I have a stamp that I passed through Israel, they won't let me in. So I need to have 2 passports then, 2 different numbers, 2 IDs, one without the Israel, if I have business in Israel as well, then I have to need 2 passports. So, I think we need to be very strict.
Right.
And then we need to equal the level the playing field with other countries that are not friendly with us. So we need to retaliate in that sense. I mean, retaliate. Okay, you're not gonna be friendly with us on immigration.
Okay, David.
We're gonna just
David, thumb up or thumbs down since you can't participate with your vocal aspect. You think it's a good move or a bad move, David?
Well, I've missed most of it, so I'm not exactly.
There you are. Well, what we were talking about in particular was this new. It's expected that.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, but you said you missed most of it. Did you hear the question at least?
No, I missed it. I'll just skip this one.
Okay, well, not a problem.
No, I'm just.
Well, here's
the phone. I want to have background.
Well, yeah, you're breaking up. Well, here's another aspect of it, Sean, that I'm looking at. Playing devil's advocate. This could backfire really badly for him because if this thing gets challenged and overturned, he's in trouble. I mean, if he doesn't have a lockdown, bulletproof plan, executive action ready to go tomorrow that tons of attorneys have looked at, he's in trouble if it gets turned over.
Why would he be in trouble, though? I mean,
well, because if this one gets turned over, that would be 2 particular executive orders dealing with immigration status that have been turned over by a court of law. That would make him 0 for 2 in what we would consider constitutional authority that he has, and he would be really in trouble perception-wise with not only the liberals but the conservative base also.
I don't know about that.
That's not a good position to be in as president who has constitutional privilege to do what he's doing.
I think I can see where you're coming from, but I think it's also true that Donald Trump isn't necessarily all that predictable. And when it comes to the law and when it comes to just kind of what have been just kind of like political norms, there's not. It's really hard. I think it can be challenging to understand what it is he's doing and why. So, like, just as an example, one of the things that they're talking about doing is prosecuting cases of recreational marijuana use in those states where marijuana has been fully legalized.
Legalize that shit.
I agree. But so this is a departure from Obama's policy, right? During Obama's during his administration, they didn't prosecute those cases. But on the other hand, they were also asked at the same time about North Carolina's HB2 bill, the bathroom bill. Okay. And they said that they believe in states' rights. Okay, and so they didn't want to do anything against the bathroom bill because they wanted to give states the right to do what they want to do, but this is contradictory.
Okay, but this is a totally different subject, and that's one I think that is essential to talking about because I see Russian